What I'm seeing for June 2026 is different. This is not another good energy is coming reading. This is a portal. June is the official opening into a season of real, lasting abundance. And if you're watching this right now, you have already stepped into that new timeline. You're already in it. Here's what I want you to take seriously before we move on. The universe responds to movement, not grand gestures, small, genuine acts of showing up. Like this video, leave a comment, hit subscribe. That is you saying, I am here, I am paying attention, I am not letting this pass me by. Let that be your first act of showing up for the chapter that is about to begin. Hey loves, welcome back. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Alice. So glad you're here today because honestly, this is a fated window, a real breakthrough moment. Stay with me all the way through. There's a lot here, and it's all for you. The Ace of Pentacles came in first. Sit with that. A single hand emerging from a cloud holding one golden coin. Below it, an open garden, an archway, a path leading somewhere beyond the frame. That image tells you everything about where June is taking you. Aces are beginnings, but not the kind that come from nowhere. They come from completion, from everything that had to happen first finally happening. This coin didn't appear out of thin air. It was earned. It was waited for. And now it's being handed directly to you. There has been a season, and some of you felt every single day of it, where you were putting in the work without seeing much come back. Planting, being patient, sometimes not even sure what you were planting for anymore. That season is over. The Ace of Pentacles is the universe saying, the ground has been prepared, the seed has taken root, and what's coming up now is real. June 2026 is when the abundance you've been building toward stops being future tense. For some of you, this is financial. A number in your account that finally looks different. A deal closing, a contract landing, income that wasn't there 3 months ago and suddenly is. For others, it's stability. Not dramatic wealth, just solid ground. Breathing differently because the pressure has genuinely eased. And for some of you, it's emotional abundance. Feeling full. Feeling like your life has substance and meaning again. The Ace of Pentacles counts that too. The portal is open. Not cracked, not slightly ajar. Open. But you still have to walk through it. Your job in June is to receive what's being offered, without second-guessing it, without standing at that archway waiting for something to go wrong. The wave of abundance is not coming. It's here. This card just confirmed it. The Sun came out next. And I'll be honest, when this card landed right after the Ace of Pentacles, I felt it. Because this isn't just confirmation. This is the universe turning the lights all the way up. A child riding a white horse, arms open wide, sunflowers reaching upward. The sun itself. Enormous, radiant, filling the entire top of the card. Nothing hidden. Everything illuminated. This is not a subtle card. The sun does not whisper. It announces. Financially, something is moving into a completely different register. Not a small adjustment. A real change in what your life looks like on a material level. Income that finally reflects what you are actually worth. A deal or opportunity that arrives and immediately feels different from everything before it, because it is different. This summer, the number changes. Recognition is coming too. You've been doing exceptional work in rooms that didn't fully see it. I hear that. That is about to shift. What you've built, what you know, what you're capable of, it's becoming visible to people who have the power to act on what they see. Stop stepping back at the exact moment someone is finally paying attention. And your health. The Sun is one of the most physically vital cards in the deck. Some of you have been running on empty for longer than you've admitted, holding it together while quietly not feeling well inside it. June marks the beginning of that turning around. Energy coming back, the body finding its footing again. The child in this card rides without holding on, arms open, not bracing. That is someone who has learned the horse knows the way. That is the posture June is asking of you. Not gripping the reins, but moving into what's coming with your eyes forward. Your personal power is already here. The Sun just confirmed it. Judgment came in next. Stay with me on this one, because I know this card can hit heavy before it feels like freedom. So let me say it straight. This is not a warning. This is a graduation notice. An angel sounding a trumpet from above. Figures rising from the water, arms open, faces upturned. Not with dread, but with the relief of someone finally called forward after a very long wait. Everything is moving. Something is finishing for you. A chapter that shaped you, tested you, asked more of you than felt fair, is reaching its final page. Not because you failed it, because you completed it. There is a real difference. And Judgment is here to make sure you know which one this is. Here's what this card is specifically asking. What are you still carrying that you don't need anymore? Resentment? Disappointment? The quiet weight of things that happened to you, because of you, despite you, that you haven't fully set down. You've processed them in your head. You've told the story, moved on in every visible way. But the body knows. And this card is saying, now. Not eventually. Now. Because the version of you that rises from this reading cannot rise fully while still holding the weight of what didn't work. I'm not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. It did. That's real and it's allowed to be real. But there's a difference between honoring what happened and being anchored by it. Judgment is the call to release the anchor. Not for them, not for the situation, but for you. It is not the way things are. It is something you've been holding. The trumpet has sounded. You can put it down now. The lesson is complete. Rise. Let the old chapter close completely. The Ace of Cups came in next. After everything this reading has already moved through, the abundance arriving, the old chapter closing, this card is telling you exactly how all of that gets to land. A single cup, overflowing. Water pouring from every side. A dove descending with an offering. The cup held out, open at the top, receiving from above and giving outward at the same time. Nothing blocked. Everything in flow. That is the energetic posture June is asking of you. June is a month of receiving. Actively, consciously, without apology. Blessings that have been building toward you, money, support, connection, love, recognition, are looking for somewhere to land. Your job is to be that somewhere. Financially, something is moving in your direction, and some of you will instinctively redirect it before you've let it land. Pay it forward before you've received it. Minimize it before you've felt it. That is deflection, not generosity. The cup receives first, and then overflows. Let it fill before it pours. The connections arriving in June are significant. For some, this is a person who sees you clearly. For others, a deepening of something already present. A relationship reaching emotional honesty it hasn't touched before. For some, it's community, not being alone in the direction you're heading. But here's what matters just as much, and I want you to really hear this. Not every cup that presents itself in June deserves to be filled from yours. Some of you have been pouring into people and situations that return nothing until you're running on empty and wondering why the abundance isn't landing. The Ace of Cups isn't asking you to cut anyone off. It's asking you to notice, to stop pretending the imbalance isn't there. For some of you, this means saying no to something you'd normally agree to out of guilt. For others, it means actually asking for help out loud instead of quietly managing everything alone. The dove has already made the journey. Your only job is to hold the cup steady and let it land. Stay open. Receive fully. Protect what you're building. Before the final two cards, look at what this reading has already built. The Ace of Pentacles said the harvest is arriving. Real, tangible, earned. The Sun said your power is rising, financially, physically, visibly. Judgment said the old chapter is closing completely, and who you are on the other side is different in all the ways that matter. The Ace of Cups said June is the month you receive it, fully, openly, with the wisdom to protect what you're building. That is already a complete story. Every single card pointing in the same direction. The next two cards tell you how to be inside what is already happening, and that matters just as much as knowing it's coming. If this reading is landing, drop a comment right now. Tell me which card hit the hardest. I read every single one. Naming it makes it real. The Star came in 5th, and I'll tell you, when this card came out, I felt it land. Because after everything this reading has moved through, the completion, the rebirth, the releasing, the receiving, this is exactly the card that needed to show up here. A woman kneeling at the water's edge, 1 foot on the ground, 1 in the water. 2 vessels pouring, 1 into the pool, 1 onto the earth. 8 stars burning above her, the sky open. No storm, no threat, just stillness, light, and quiet replenishment happening in both directions at once. This is the card of divine protection, of support that doesn't require you to earn it or perform for it. It is simply there. It has always been there. And the Star is here to make sure you actually feel that in June. Not just believe it as a concept, but feel it in your body. Because here's what I need to say directly. Somewhere underneath all the effort, the healing, the releasing, the doing the work, there has been a quiet fear that the support might not hold, that the grace has a limit, that you have to keep earning the protection to keep receiving it. The Star is here to take that apart, completely. What activates divine protection is not your perfection, not your productivity, not your ability to hold it together on the hard days. It is love, steady, non-negotiable, present for you exactly as you are right now. Now here's what this card is asking of you in return, and some of you need this more than anything else in this reading. Take care of yourself, not as a reward, not as something you'll get to once the important things are handled, as a first act. Because here's what some of you have been doing: receiving the guidance, the signs, the moments of grace, and immediately redirecting all of it outward before it's had a chance to restore you. Always pouring, never pausing long enough to let the water reach you. I see it in this card and I'm naming it directly. That is not sustainable. And you know it. In June, sleep when you need to. Step away before you've fully emptied. Say no to what has nothing to give back. Say yes to the rest, and the silence, and the conversation that genuinely fills you, not because you've earned it, because you are a vessel that needs tending. And trust the process, not as a phrase, but as a decision. The timing of everything in this reading is not random. There is an intelligence in it, larger than what you can see from where you're standing. The Star is asking you to trust that. With the grounded faith that comes from watching the water keep moving and realizing, this has always been held. I have always been held. The sky is open. The protection is already active. This card came out and the entire reading locked in. A knight on a heavy, dark horse, completely still. Not charging, not retreating. holding a single pentacle in front of him with total focus. The field behind him is plowed and ready. He is not rushing the harvest. He is simply present, committed, trusting that showing up consistently is the most powerful thing he can do right now. That is the final instruction of this reading, and it's the one that makes everything else real. Here's the truth. Every confirmation this reading delivered, none of it activates while you're passive. The energy is real and it is moving toward you. But the Knight of Pentacles is here to tell you that your intentional, consistent action is what meets it halfway. Some of you are feeling the resonance right now. The recognition, the relief, the yes, this is real. And then you'll close the app and go back to exactly what you were doing. And nothing shifts. Not because the reading wasn't accurate, but because energy responds to action. It responds to the signal that says, I am ready, I am here, I am moving toward this. So here's what showing up looks like in June. The small actions matter. If this reading landed, say so. Like it, subscribe, leave a comment. That is you claiming it out loud. And when you claim it out loud, even in 3 words, something shifts. The universe gets a clear signal instead of a maybe. Act on your intuition. When something feels like a yes, move toward it. When it feels like a no, honor that. Stop waiting for certainty that isn't coming. Your gut is more calibrated than you're giving it credit for right now. Watch your words. Some of you are still narrating a story 3 chapters behind where you actually are. Still speaking in the language of the version of you that struggled, that didn't have enough. That story is not current. Start saying it differently. Say, things are shifting for me. Say, I trust what is coming. Say it when it feels true, and say it when it doesn't yet, because saying it is part of how it becomes true. Pay attention to what arrives. A number that keeps showing up, a conversation that opens an unexpected door, a sudden clarity about something you've been sitting with for months. These are not coincidences. These are confirmation that the energy in this reading is actively moving. Notice them. Acknowledge them. Say, I see that. I am paying attention. That is your posture for June. Not frantic, not passive, intentional, consistent, present. One grounded step at a time. The harvest is confirmed. The support is active. The protection is around you. The only thing left is to show up for it. Every single card in this reading has been saying the same thing from a different angle. The Ace of Pentacles said, the harvest is arriving, not as luck, but as the direct result of everything you put in. Judgment said, the old chapter is closing so that what's next has room to exist. The Sun said, your power is rising, visibly, in ways the world is going to see. The Ace of Cups said, stay open and receive fully, but protect what you're building. The Star said, you are held. Take care of yourself and trust what is already moving. And the Knight of Pentacles closed this reading exactly right. Show up with intention. Act on your intuition. Meet the abundance halfway. That is not a collection of themes. That is one story, and it belongs to you. Here's what I need you to understand about how this actually works. Every time you trust your intuition instead of overriding it, the star becomes more fully yours. Every time you receive what's arriving without deflecting it, the Ace of Cups fills more completely. Every time you let the old chapter close without chasing it back, Judgment clears more space. Every time you stand in your power without minimizing it, the sun shines brighter through you. Every time you stop looking for the catch, the Ace of Pentacles lands more fully. Every time you show up without waiting for perfect conditions, the Knight of Pentacles moves the harvest closer. This is not separate events happening to you. This is one continuous movement, and you are already inside it. What this moment is asking of you is not more effort, not more strategy, not more pushing. It is presence, the clear-eyed, honest, fully inhabited kind. Open hands, a willingness to be surprised by how good this actually gets when you stop bracing against it. You are not waiting for your life to change. Your life is changing. Right now. In this moment of recognition. Keep moving. Stay open. Trust your knowing. Receive what is yours. This reading found you for a reason. Don't let it pass through you like a nice moment that fades by tomorrow. Drop a comment right now. Tell me which card landed the hardest. Tell me what you are ready to claim. Tell me where you're feeling that first real shift, that first exhale after a very long held breath. I read every single comment, without exception. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Not for the algorithm, for you. Because the energy you bring to claiming what this reading said is the exact energy the Ace of Pentacles responds to. That is not a metaphor. That is how this works. You did not stumble onto this by accident. The Knight of Pentacles is already in the field. The work is already done. The harvest is already coming. The only question is whether you are ready to show up and receive it. I cannot wait to read your comment. Sending you so much love. See you in the next one.